Today, we are talking about the worst EDC trends, in your opinion. Leatherman is no longer including accessories and sheaths with their multi-tools, a new pen that might not help your drinking habits, and finally, a man who had a knife stuck in his chest for 8 years and didn't know it. This is a weird one, so let's get into it. My name is Taylor Martin. This is Deep Cuts. Let's do the damn thing. All right, I want to introduce yet another new segment. We're going to call this Knife News. I was just browsing the internet the other day and I found this article. It was on a few different websites, but it's about a man who went into the hospital because he had pus leaking from his nipple. And they determined that he had a knife stuck in his chest and it had been there for over 8 years. So apparently he got into an altercation, never even bothered to look into where the wound came from, I guess, or how he got a wound in his chest, and didn't go to the hospital. When he finally did 8 years later, they found a knife in his chest. I actually almost skipped over this article because in the EDC Weekly last week, I included an article about a guy who was like caught in this string of crimes, and when he was in the patrol car, he notified the policeman who was driving him to the jail that he had a knife in his ass. So I thought this was the same story, and then I was like, oh wait, no, this guy has had a knife in his chest for 8 years. That's crazy. I don't have anything else to add to that, but weird knife news. In other knife news, there have been a few people upset. I've actually seen this pop up on Reddit for the last week or two about Leatherman no longer including sheaths and some of the bit kits with their multi-tools. And then last night I saw this post from our friend Max Level EDC over on Reddit. He said, just in case everyone missed it, Leatherman is no longer including accessories, sheaths as well. With most of their multi-tools, this includes Wave, Bond, Rebar, ST300, but the 300M does still come with accessories, and the Surge, and then basically every tool that has a pocket clip. So that includes the Leatherman Arc. They don't come with bits or sheaths. It's just the multi-tool. But there's a bit of a great divide over this, right? Some people don't seem to care, and then some people are very upset, and I can already predict what the comments are gonna say, that I'm like an industry plant by Leatherman, or Leatherman pays me, or I'm on their payroll, or whatever. They don't. I just understand business from the side of somebody who runs a store and has expenses that don't always reveal themselves to customers. I understand where this is probably coming from. Yeah, Leatherman's a company. They're in this business to make money, as any company is. At the end of the day, the prices of things are increasing. Tariffs have affected basically everything, and they could either increase the price of their products even further or drop off something that most people probably don't use. I've owned probably 20 plus Leathermans in my life. I've literally never used the sheath, ever. I open up the box, I take the Leatherman out. The sheath probably never leaves the box, and if it does, it's because I'm throwing the box away. I take the sheath out, I throw it in a drawer or a bin somewhere, and the box goes in the trash. I don't care about the sheath not being included at all. However, the unfortunate part is that the bits are not being included with certain multi-tools. That sucks a little bit more than the sheath. The sheath I couldn't care less about because I would much rather carry my Leatherman either just clipped to my pocket, right? I have a Signal in my pocket right now, or in something like a Tale of Knives holster. It's just a better way to carry it, in my opinion. I don't really care that much about this. I think it's more of a non-issue that people are drumming up more attention on, just to kind of be outraged at something. Sorry, Dom, I don't agree with you on this one. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but he does make a good point. He said, so if you are buying a Leatherman from their website, make sure that you also buy the sheath at the time so you don't have to pay extra shipping for a sheath. And somebody comments in that Reddit thread that it does affect people who are buying in person because they may not be able to buy the sheath at the time of, so they will have to pay for shipping. But personally, I would just recommend getting a better sheath. Leatherman sells a leather sheath for it, which is better, in my opinion. It doesn't have the bit storage like the canvas sheaths do, but I'm just gonna recommend a Tale of Knives sheath, which is a more expensive option, but it allows you to carry more stuff a little bit better than just the standard Leatherman sheath. Anyway, I don't think it's that big of an issue. Maybe you do. Let me know in the comments down below. All right, we've come to the point where we need to thank our channel sponsors who make all of this possible. First up, we want to thank Worksharp. Here is your reminder to use your shit and sharpen your knives. Worksharp makes amazing sharpeners. They also have knives, the RMX, it's out, and they're restocking it every single Monday at 10 a.m. PST. We also want to thank bigidesign. They've been supporters of what we do for a very long time. They make amazing things like this watch right here. This is their new TI GMT. They make pins, knives, all sorts of stuff, and this is their latest. This is the Jot and Pop. And they also released this is the Baseline TI Field Watch that they dropped last week. go check out Big Idea Design and use my link down below. If you do, you get 10% off. Just use the code BDEDC. Finally, I would like to thank Carry Commission, which, yes, it's my own company, but it does make all of this possible in some roundabout way. But if you'd like to support me, you can go there and purchase stuff from Carry Commission. This week, we are restocking the Jackrabbit from Bilgewater Blades. This is a Carry Commission exclusive in the texture of micarta. It is a little bit different than last time. Last time we had a blackwash blade in M4. This time it is a stonewash blade in Crewwear. So if those are still available, go check them out. Buy one for yourself. If not, you're not out of luck yet because we have more coming. So just stay tuned. Sign up for email notifications if you missed it. All right, thank you guys for supporting Carry Commission and all of the sponsors. Go check them out. It does make all this possible. And okay, he's not a sponsor or anything, but go thank Ilya. He has a YouTube channel here and also an Instagram account. He is the editor of this channel, and he's awesome. He makes shit happen. Thanks, Ilya. And Ricky, too, I guess. Although the only thing he's done is like yell shit from that office and fill up his water in the middle of the video. Thanks, Ricky. All right, so for show and tell this week, it got a little more crowded than I originally intended. I intended to tell you about this a few weeks ago. I got this in my P.O. box, and it's called Radio Chatter. It's a game. So it's a deck of cards. It's a full deck of cards, right? So you can play just any old card game. But on those cards are also conversation starters. So what has been your favorite adventure? What is your favorite road trip snack? Where's your favorite place to travel in your home state? A lot of cool questions that I probably wouldn't think about. If you're sitting around a campfire with people you may not know that well, this is a great little icebreaker. I thought it was just a neat little product. They're 15 bucks. You can get them from their website, which I believe is just Radio Chatter Game. And there is an NSFR version, which is, I don't know what R stands for. Not safe for, I don't know what R stands for, but it's a more adult-oriented version of the same thing. Not safe for radio, maybe? I'm just gonna guess that. Anyway, this came from Paul, who is one of the founders, and it was funny, he said, "My name is Paul, and while we haven't had the chance to connect directly, we share mutual roots in the off-roading and overlanding world. A friend of mine sent me one of your videos as a joke because you stepped out of an Alu cab, all bearded, wearing a poncho shirt with a Shaky Graves hat on. Could be my long-lost twin, except I don't have the hat." I just thought it was really cool product, not that expensive, and something you just throw in the truck for any old occasion when you're around a campfire or just doing something. You need to either play a game of cards or break the ice. I also was not expecting to show you guys this because this was a gift and I wasn't expecting to even have this. Our good friend Jamie Williams at JRW Gear popped by the office yesterday and gifted me this giant Tough Clip as a token of gratitude for all the support and helping sell and spread the word of the Tough Clip. I really like it a lot. I think it's a great product, and now I have a one-of-one giant Tough Clip. I mean, I guess there could be more of these, I don't know, but he said it was just for me. So thank you, Jamie. But there was also this. So the story behind this is that I've been giving Jamie crap for years about not being able to buy a curator and also not collaborating on a topographic curator. So I've never had the opportunity to buy one. I always miss the first come, first serve at blade shows. I just never have had the opportunity to buy a curator. So at this past blade show, there were like 3 left on the table and I decided to buy one, but it was a toss-up between a steel one, which was really cool, but it had like a prism pyramid on it instead of the standard, I think that's what he calls it, or kaleidoscope. And then there was the standard pyramid in brass, but on the back, it had his JRW logo instead of the Tough Guy. There was like no perfect combination that I wanted. I was after one specific one. And in the video after Blade Show, I gave him a lot of crap over it. Just busting balls with a friend. I think he took it too personally, maybe. I don't know. But because of that, he showed up yesterday to the office and said, "I made you something, but in order to get it, you have to give me the other curator back." So I gave him the original curator that I purchased, and he handed me this, which is his new packaging, right? A nice little teardrop, which is actually pretty cool. You unscrew this thumb screw, drop the Chicago screw out the back with a post, slide it open, and inside is another curator. But this is a special curator. So the backside, the case is titanium. It has a very subtle topographic pattern on it, which actually looks really nice, and the Tough Guy logo, which I really, really love. And then on the inside, it's brass. So it's brass and titanium. It is a one-of-one. Thank you, Jamie. It's the perfect curator. Sorry that I had to dog you for so long to actually make it happen. Sorry I made you feel bad about not having the right config at Blade Show. I'm sorry I gave you money for a product and I was happy with it, but you thought I wasn't. I don't know what else to say to make you feel worse, but thanks, man. Yeah, so we're gonna keep that. I don't know what to do with this. Tell me what you think I should do with the extra large tough clip. I suggested putting the mini truck key on it, but the mini truck still doesn't run. It may never run again, I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments. All right, next up we have a knife release that I probably wouldn't have been shown to you guys because I didn't know about it. It wasn't on my radar until Vosti DM'd me and said, hey, would you like to check this out? This is their mid-sized SIOP, so it's a collaboration with Tough Knives. I liked the original SIOP, but I think this is a better size in my opinion for a everyday carry. This is more my size or my style. I like the micarta inlay, I guess if you want to call it that, kind of a faux bolster. Like before, it is a button actuated top liner, and I like it a lot. S35VN blade, and according to the website, this is a Norplex Ultrex micarta handle. I don't really know what that means, if I'm going to be completely honest. But there are several different colorways, 5 different colors. I thought I was going to like this one the most, but actually there's a natural micarta with a gold stud, which looks pretty cool. What I think would be the perfect one. They have this gold or bronze or brassy looking bolster with a really green micarta. That one with this micarta would be really sick, personally. Anyway, it's a nice little knife and only $139, so it's a great deal for what it is. That will be out on August 22nd, which is actually probably before this video goes out. So go check it out if they're not sold out already. And finally, we have a new pen from bigidesign, and this one is a collaboration. It is their Pocket Pro. It does have a milled pocket clip, which is so nice. I think the only other time we've seen that on the Pocket Pro is for the USA version, but it has a bottle opener built in. It's a collaboration with our friend Tom over at Notorious EDC. I think it's a really cool version, and it's called the Jot and Pop, which is a fun little name. So these also, I believe, are coming out this week, probably also on the 22nd. That's what I thought. Go check these out, and if they're not sold out, pick one up because I think that's cool. It's one of these things, we're gonna talk about this in just a second. It's one of these things, I don't really ever use a bottle opener, but I do think that's cool. I really appreciate things that have thoughtful additions to them. So like Ben's collaboration with Big Eye, which the Sancho pen that had tweezers and a toothpick in the handle of the pen, brilliant. And I don't hate this at all. I don't hate it at all. So very cool. Love to see friends working together too. All right, so a couple of weeks ago, we actually missed talking about this topic. I asked you guys what the worst part of EDC is. Like if there was one thing in the EDC space that you wish would go away, what is it? And I had to use the hashtag tools, not trends. This was for entry for a giveaway, but I thought there were a lot of really good answers here, and I wanted to read some of them and discuss it with you guys. The very first one comes from Turned Into a Whole Thing over on YouTube. He said, this is not a new trend, but one that I don't understand. And here's exactly what we're talking about. Why do makers put bottle openers on everything? A pry bar does not need a bottle opener, as the pry edge works as a fantastic bottle opener by itself. A bic or anything you can slip under the lip of a bottle and apply a bit of force is also sufficient. I agree. I typically just use the back of a knife or whatever is nearby. I would use the spine of a knife to open up a bottle if I needed to. I would open this up and just crank on it like that. I've done that a million times. I've used a bunch of different things. I also don't open a ton of bottles anymore. A lot of beer that I would drink is now in cans, maybe like a Topo Chico or something, but I don't hate it. I think it's when it's something like this right here, when it's done very tastefully, I don't mind it at all. It's not hurting anything. It's not in the way. I don't mind it. I don't carry a bottle opener by itself like Tom. He has the beer bomb. I don't really carry that. I have them because I think they're cool and I like supporting a friend, but I'm kind of iffy on it. It just depends on the implementation, and I don't really put too much thought into it. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I don't. This is an instance where I don't hate it at all, but there are some like carabiners that I have that have a giant bottle opener, and I'm like, that's kind of dumb. Especially if it like snags or catches your hand or something. This doesn't really. It looks like it would, but it's not that bad. So I was worried when you put this in your pocket that it would like grab my ring or something like that, but that has yet to happen. So the next one comes from Six String Beard EDC. Titanium, everything needs to stop, especially titanium pry bars. So I also kind of agree here. I love titanium. I'm a self-proclaimed titanium whore. A lot of the stuff I have is titanium. Oh, look at my keys. It's like titanium everything, right? A titanium fork with a bottle opener, titanium magnetic quick release, titanium tweezers, a screwdriver, a titanium tritium glow vial, and a titanium pry bar with a bottle opener. I got 2 bottle openers on my keys. I don't care about any of that. The titanium pry bar is the thing that we have kind of kicked around here for a little bit. Like, we want to test a titanium pry bar. How good is it? Does it actually do what it's supposed to do? Is titanium a good material for a pry bar? Probably already know the answer to that, but I want to physically show you why I think all these EDC pry bars, if they should exist at all, should probably be made out of a tool steel or something a little bit tougher than titanium. But it also doesn't mar up as bad as something like a tool steel will. So there's kind of 2 sides to that coin, but we want to dive into that a little bit deeper. Next, we have a comment from Kelchar. He says, I wish the trend of ever more lumens in flashlights instead of improved battery life would die. 500 lumens is plenty for almost anything except maybe professional applications and search and rescue. Now make it so I can have 500 lumens on for a long, long time, please. I very much agree here. We do not need 2000 lumen flashlights in our pockets. Longer run times, lower battery or lower brightness is a thing that, like, well, the thing is, you have a high mode and then you have medium mode. You could just use that medium mode and not use the high mode. So it's one of those things that's not really hurting you by having an additional, like, brighter mode. But what I would prefer more than maybe even either of those is better heat dissipation, right? You use a flashlight on high mode or even sometimes medium for a long time and that sucker gets hot. I was actually trying to break into my own truck last week, long story, but I was holding my Okluma DC0 in my hand on medium for a long time at night trying to break into this truck, and it got so hot I couldn't hold it. I had to go get a different flashlight that wasn't going to get as hot. So it's also the material. It's a bronze flashlight. Lumens, we've reached maximum capacity. I wish we would focus a little bit more on the quality of the beam, like not so many cool white lights. I wish we would have more 3,000 and 4,000 K lights instead of 6 on everything, which is, I think, getting a little bit better. There's more Nichia LEDs out there, but battery life for sure, but definitely heat dissipation in my opinion, and better UIs. We've gotten to this thing, we talked about it a few weeks ago, we just gotten to this point where everybody just keeps storing more and more modes onto a flashlight, and it's just unnecessary. Keep it simple, stupid. This is a perfect example of that, but we'll touch on that later. Limited drops. This comes from EDC Cruz, who actually won the giveaway last week. He said, limited drops, that is what I hate. Being new to EDC, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube looking for what I like. Seems like every time I find something, it is some limited run collab special. You had to be there at the drop within 60 seconds or you missed it forever kind of situation. I am then left to wait for another run that may or may not happen or have to deal with secondary market. And if I can even find it, it's marked up way too high. I wish the practice of manufacturing increased value for products by limiting production or availability would stop. I just want to be able to buy some gear, not have to go on a quest to do it. I understand the frustration, but I also, once again, understand from the side of the company producing or collaborating on something. A lot of the time here at Carry Commission, we partner with companies that are small, like LT Wright Knives. They are great, they can produce a lot of knives, but when we're doing something custom or different, they keep the batches small because it's pulling from their main production. So they're not over here making 300 knives for us. We're doing batches of 50, 60, sometimes 100. And with the popularity of the Frontier First that we've done in the Frontier Valley, they sold out basically instantly every single time. And it's not for lack of trying. We have literally told them, keep them coming. We're just gonna reorder as fast as we can. So that's what we do. And we try to make it as easy for you guys to buy them. On the flip side of that, I won't name a specific project, but we've rerun a project before that went really, really well one time. And then the next time we sold like 4 out of the hundreds that we ordered. And then we dropped them again and sold like, I don't know, 6 or 7. That's the risk you run when you do a custom or a small limited run, and then you realize, hey, this is popular, and you ramp it up, and then the next time, not as many people are hyped for it, you're left holding the bag, and that doesn't feel good. In fact, that can totally cripple a company, and I'm speaking from experience, that sucks. We're fine, we made it out and we're okay, but it actually hurt our company for months and months. There are 2 sides to seeing that, and from the consumer, I get it, but also as a business, you don't want to order way too many of something and be stuck with it and nobody want it. So there is a fine balance in figuring that out. And I'm not saying that there aren't companies out there that intentionally hold back inventory or only produce 20 of something to increase the scarcity. All that does happen. But I'm saying from a balance standpoint, from a company that's trying to stock things, can be tricky because we'll stock something, it'll sell it instantly, we restock it, and then nobody buys them. So that's happened very, very few times, but it has. And when that happens, it really sucks. Thank you for that. I would love to hear from the rest of you what EDC trends should die and how you feel about all of these. We got a really quick confessional for you guys. This one comes from Nomad, who actually sparked the conversation about the clones. We have another one from our good friend Nomad. He says, I love titanium gear, but I also love Truly like Jeremy Siers. My man, my man. Thank you so much for that confession. Let it be known, this is the truth. Jeremy Siers does love Truly. Right there in the name, it's Truly, right? He might deny it all he wants, but he is a Truly aficionado.
I normally like to drink coffee. Coffee. I want that caffeine, baby. And I know this is gonna sound super like bouge, but I can't disagree. I enjoy a good Truly if it's within your wheelhouse and something you can, you got the budget for it.
Go show my buddy Jeremy Siers some love. Tell him how much that you love Truly just like him. And that's it. That's all I got for you. Thank you, Nomad. If you would like to also get something off your chest, there is a link for a Google form for your EDC confession. Please tell us your worst gear sin, unpopular opinion, whatever it may be. You can get it off your chest there. And we might read it here and help you feel better or worse about your confession. No penance needed this week because Jeremy Siers loves Truly. All right, next up we have the carry of the week. That comes from Camden_Hill over on Instagram. And I picked this because this carry is beat to shit. This guy uses his shit and I'm proud of that. And he should be too. First up, we have a Benchmade Bugout at the top that has Flytanium, titanium scales on it. He also has a big Idea Design pry bar underneath that. To the left of the photo is Costa. He has some sunglasses from them. He has a SOG Power Access Deluxe, which looks like a bit holder also with it, an Olay Arcfield Pro, and then finally a Ridge wallet in titanium. All of that is like very well loved, which is unusual for a submission, which is why it jumped out at me. Camden says, I like titanium and enjoy using and abusing my gear. I can't live without my sunglasses, a good pocket knife, and a multi-tool. I work on a farm, so there's no telling what each day is going to hold and what is going to break. I love my gear and I'm always open to improvement. And looking for something, he says, I could use a good multi-tool or titanium flashlight. Happy to hear any recommendations. A good multi-tool, honestly, I've been digging the Signal, right? Like, I really like it. And for somebody on a farm, I think it has the right tool set. It's got a knife that's half serrated as well as a saw blade. I personally would prefer to have like a file and some scissors over a knife and a saw blade, but this feels like it'd be a really good addition. Or honestly, Charge, Surge, any of the top tier Leathermans would be good for you. And honestly, they have some good budget options as well. I've never used the Power Access. I understand it's very similar to the Power Pint, but bigger. But I don't know what tool set it has. So I'm guessing you have a problem with that. I don't know, but the titanium flashlight, all that comes to mind is Raylight. Manker, I don't know how it's pronounced either. They have some titanium flashlights that are like 60 bucks. Yeah, I really need to up my research on titanium flashlights that aren't $500. So anyway, I hope that helps a little bit. Maybe somebody in the comments can help with some recommendations there. Thank you for submitting. If you would like to submit yours, you can go to edcw.co and you might be featured in a future Deep Cuts. All right, finally, we are to the point where I'm gonna show you what's in my pockets because you always ask. First up, we do have a bit of a bouge knife on me today. I have the Carry Commission exclusive ProTech Malibu in bronze topo, Magna Cut blade. We have a few of those left. I also have the Signal. I've already shown you several times. We also have a new wallet this week. This is the F47. I got this at Blade Show. It's titanium and Ultim. It's made by Vice Hardware right here in Charlotte from our friend Corey. It's a really, really nice wallet, especially if you don't mind a hard wallet. I don't, so I'm carrying that. I also have the Jot and Pop in my pocket, or well, I did. That's actually technically Ricky's. I lost mine somewhere today. And that's it, other than the lighter in my watch. So the TI GMT, which I already showed you, and the Gaslight Industries Jerry Can lighter in a different finish this time. We're trying out some new finishes. We are almost ready. Stay tuned for that. I did say finally my pocket check, but finally, giveaway winner announcement. Last week we announced we were giving away a Flytanium beef. The winner for that was Colby Asher with a comment. I didn't pull it up. He replied to my question in last week's EDC Weekly, and it was, why do you carry? He said, I tell myself I carry for preparedness, but honestly, I carry for the love of the gear. Hashtag why I carry. This week, we are actually going to give away yet another Benchmade Bugout 535-09. So that is the Rich Light and aluminum. If you would like to enter this, go check your inbox. You have to be subscribed to the EDC Weekly to find the instructions for how to enter in the comments of this video. So sign up for the email if you haven't already, because if you haven't, you missed the boat on this giveaway, but you can get into future ones by signing up and getting the instructions. If you are, go read the email. The instructions are at the end, so you can win a Benchmade Bugout. All right, that's it for this one. I feel like I've been talking for a very long time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. There is an audio-only version of this. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. But that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, carry on.